Yo, what's up? After a long dry period, today we finally get new news about, well, basically two news drops. First, there's gonna be a big update soon, and soon could mean next week. And this update will contain some nice, significant graphics improvements. Yes, because Enlisted absolutely needs those. Absolutely needs those. I've recently been looking into Hell Let Loose, and one of the main draws to that game are the way superior graphics, especially regarding realistic looks. And the biggest problem Enlisted currently has, if you look at the graphics, is they look way too much like a cartoon game. Way too much, especially when it comes to nature. The grass doesn't look like real grass at all. If you only play Enlisted, it may convince you, which it did for me, but trying out any other game, you will instantly see, yeah, the game needs significant improvements. And one of the best improvements you can do is to improve the light features, because the light features are basically well, since they also determine how the colors appear, improving the light graphics is the best way to improve the game. And this new update will improve the light graphics in multiple ways. First of all, it will obviously look more realistic. Overall, it will look better. As you can see here, the previous version of the Stalingrad part of the house and in the new version, overall, the illumination of dark corners looks much better. I remember 1 year ago, Enlisted had a problem that you had dark corners being basically completely dark and black and you couldn't see anything. And then the opposite was after, well, mediocre update, that now instead of having dark corners, you had something like that, which also isn't realistic at all. You have the same amount of light in this area as anywhere else in this room, which isn't how rooms work in real life, and which also doesn't really give you strategic opportunities to hide in a corner and things like that. And yeah, now we have realistic light scattering and realistic light reflections on surfaces. This also includes the fact, look, by the way, look at this nice carpet. For those who don't know, Eastern Europeans, Russians included, absolutely love putting these colorful carpets everywhere. And even on their walls, not even on the ground. There are many Russian houses, flats, where you have all the walls covered with these things. So yeah. This Stalingrad inhabitant was content with only one carpet on the ground, and you can see on this improved graphics picture, yes, it looks much better. It looks overall darker, but the difference becomes clearer if you look at the ground. This wooden floor looks absolutely real, absolutely convincing. You see, yeah, you see the light scattering completely different from here to here to here. It's amazing. Here, everything looks the same. You don't even see details in the wooden structure because you can only see them if you have actual light effects. And here you can see it perfectly clear. So yeah, this is amazing. This looks really good. What you also get is that before this update, which will come, obviously, it's not yet in the game included, light was leaking through walls. Yes, obviously due to inefficiencies or just mistakes or artifacts in the graphics coding. And here you can see the roof illuminated, not due to a source of light, but, well, due to light coming from the sky through the roof. And this shadow here also doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, and you can see the main source of light is obviously coming from the outside, and the light is extremely nicely reflected through these metal stripes. But in that case, the roof shouldn't be so bright. And here you can see with proper calculation, proper light effects, you have the most amount of darkness in the corner, which is properly done. You have a very realistically nice looking grayish surface anywhere on this white stone in the Tunisian area. By the way, nothing more beautiful than the medieval Mongolian steppe architecture from many Turkoid cultures like Tatarians, Kazakhs and so on, who used lots of white stones. And In North Africa, you also have a bunch of cultures who use these stones. Looks amazing if it's perfectly illuminated, as it will be soon. Yeah, this is also a good improvement, really nice improvement. Also, this, by the way, what I meant for a long time. I also asked it in the comments. It was indirectly answered. Whether the colors will be more realistic now and less like a comic. Because in a comic, you have extremely bright colors. For example, why are the Simpsons yellow? Well, they were turned yellow to make the Simpsons stand out next to all other cartoons at the time. And there's nothing brighter than yellow. That's why many uncreative people use yellow colors in their YouTube thumbnails. Well, guess what? I'm using always orange color shift. Because as I discovered, the boomer that I am, 1 year ago, that I can not only have white letters, but colorful letters, I'm still flashed from that discovery, and I'm likely gonna still use the same color fading for the next years. yeah, this is amazing. Also, distance rendering, very important. One of the most annoying things in Enlisted, especially if you use planes, is the rendering distance. Regarding planes, how far away you see enemies on the ground, nothing was said. Though it might also be improved, since it's quite a related issue. And here we see a long floor in the Reichskanzlei in Berlin. Wait, no, it's actually... No, this is what it says. Ah, yeah, it's the Lehrter Bahnhof. It's the railroad station. One of the best maps, as I rated it in my top 10 maps for Enlisted. Yeah, you see far away... You see a little bit of details, though it looks, yeah, it doesn't look realistic. Like, it looks like a 20-year-old game. But here you have much better light effects. The colors are much more realistic. Here you see the same, basically bluish stone color. It's basically blue fading, but not only in the distance, but even here in the front. And here you have a perfect different set of colors on the stone, depending on illumination and the distance. Here, the whole wall looks the same, basically. And here, depending on where you are, it looks different. Yeah, this is amazing. Making surfaces look realistic is absolutely important, and this exactly does it. Also, this is a nice, cool color. Also, don't forget, you know what's the coolest thing about these Berlin map, well, this specific Berlin map, is it's if you throw a bunch of Molotovs in here. You're gonna have such nice, beautiful color effects. It's insane, yeah. These new light effects are gonna be amazing when you use flame weapons. I can't wait for it. And another aspect of this new improvement is that here we have a Pacific Japanese hut, and with the old graphics or the current graphics settings, we can't even see details on wooden structures. For example, we see some details here on the wall, but not on the roof. But here, all of a sudden, you have some reflection effects, and now you actually have more polished and not polished areas that are perfectly distinguishable. Yeah, this looks amazing. This looks like a real wooden area. Also, if you look on the ground, here everything is just dark. You can't distinguish anything. And here you can perfectly distinguish the same type of wood structures as on the roof. Also, these types of details give every area, every map, a distinct feeling, which is extremely important. You are creating atmosphere by stacking up congruent impressions. Meaning, if you want to create an atmosphere of like Berlin, you want to have the cool 19th century architecture, you want to have a perfect color set, you want to have perfect sound atmosphere. You don't want to have anything, you don't want a palm tree in Berlin. This would ruin the atmosphere instantly. Yeah? But you want to stack everything that fits the ambient. Also, well, obviously you don't want any censorship, because that also ruins the atmosphere if you're literally reaching Berlin, the center of Germany at the time. But yeah, but in Pacific it's easier. The only thing you need in the Pacific is the island area, palm trees, cool wooden stuff like this, because stone buildings were rare. So you need lots of wood, you need cool light effects, and you need lots of nature, and more importantly, you also need nice sunny weather, but also monsoons and like very strong windy rain, which is typical for islands like that. This is the biggest issue missing right now to create good atmospheres, but these light effects are a great step in the right direction. And the last improvement here is that, look at this. This is absolutely fucking great. This is well, water on the street. I forgot what it's called. And you see some details on it, but yeah, this is very, very early 2000 graphics. You can see what's underneath, you can see what's on the ground, you can see the street underneath the water, and you see a basic color shift, but that's it. This is very, very primitive water. Here, oh, all of a sudden, you have the same color shift, but you have in-depth vision. Depending on the angle, you can actually see perfectly what's underneath the water. You have some bubbles. Oh, no, actually, it's this actually not bubbles, it's the stone from a crater, and you see light reflections on top of the water surface. And depending on the angle, basically the whole sky, the whole environment is reflected. And this looks amazing. This looks absolutely realistic, especially if you run around with a soldier and you see your reflection in this area. Or the best thing will be if you actually manage to spot some enemies trying to sneak up on you, or if you find some rooftop cameras in Stalingrad on houses on the roofs by looking at the puddle. Yeah, this will be actually cool. Also very nice, very nicely atmospheric. Also important for city maps, because dark stone with water looks really nice, atmospheric, and amazing. Here we have one of the best looking maps in the whole game. The new Muganda Path map in Pacific, well, remotely new, with this cool, very nice looking cave. And after more than 6 months, Darkflow finally got their stuff together and understood that this map needs to start fighting in the caves. Because before that, the fighting was exactly on the other part of the map, and you basically never reached the cave, which was retarded. And now, yeah, you see, I can't wait to have more of these cave fights. And here we have, yeah, we see, first of all, there's this torch on the side, and this new illumination is much better. What you have here is basically illumination coded only for proximity, and here you have illumination that reaches farther away and realistically interacts with the areas. Also, the water looks really cool. Water looks really nice. And of course, the illumination of the cave entrance with the plants hanging down. Yeah, this is amazing. This is another Pacific map. Yeah, look at these. This is, yeah, you can do this in an atmospheric Hollywood movie, but not constantly in a game, because then it just looks unrealistic. And these light effects finally look properly realistic. Yeah. These burnt out buildings in the Pacific were also a big source of pain, because they were so dark you couldn't see soldiers hiding in there. Like, the only thing you could do is throw phosphor gas or use a flamethrower on them, because you literally couldn't see anyone there. But now you actually can see some details. Now you actually will be able to spot soldiers. So yeah, this is really good. Yeah, finally a good change. I hope it comes out as soon as possible. I hope next week. This week would be unrealistic. Likely we will gonna get this week some more information about the main update, since it was implied in the beginning of this post that the descriptions about the new update will be split. Especially with the new stuff and the new toys added. Likely we will get a super Pershing. Very likely. And some other things. Yeah, the game needs new content. The game hasn't received any new content since a long time. And most of the content didn't really make the game much better. It was a little bit of Japanese, it was a lot of Japanese stuff that Japan got significantly improved. And all the other nations, yeah, whatever. The normal Pershing was cool, but it didn't change that much, and you still get slapped by a Panzerfaust 60. I did 2 games today, and my first time I played since a couple of days, and my Pershing got slapped non-stop by Panzerfaust 60s. Not even the Panzerfaust 100, yes. Yeah, so we are in desperate need for new maps and new game content. And these graphics are a great step in the right direction. Alright, let me know what you think. And until soon. Ah, by the way, for those who haven't done yet, watch the top 10 German weapons in the game video, because many people asked for guides for weapons or like strategies or whatever. And instead of just making 10 videos, what would make YouTube happy, because they could put all of the ads on that. I basically have all of my videos on minimum ads. Almost all my videos are minimum ads, since I don't like ads myself. And I noticed the best way to make strategy guides about weapons is just to have a video like that with 10 weapons, and every weapon is explained how to use it there and what makes it good. And this basically 10 guides in one with a nice entertaining overall theme. So yeah, if you haven't done so yet, do it. You're gonna like it, guaranteed. Alright, until next time, goodbye.